Everyone, it's a real pleasure to connect here at Shri College of Commerce, Delhi, one of the most respected institutions in the country. Fortunately, today we are going to explore something very powerful, something that turns simple ideas into billion-dollar companies and classroom discussion like this into world-changing solutions. That thing is called strategy. Now, talking about strategy, it's not a new term, it's timeless. To give an example over here, we all know Ramayana, Lord Ram and Ravan. Ram didn't win the war with brute strength, but he won through strategy. He chose the right allies, Hanuman, Vanarsena. He gathered the right intelligence via Hanuman in Lanka. He focused on purpose and not on ego. He adapted, acted smartly, used visions and sight. Even though Ravan had power, armies and knowledge, but Ram had strategy. That's how smart choices beat raw resources. Just like in business, where a clear plan and sharp execution win over size and money. Let me start with a unique question here, which is not so unique but everybody will be knowing it. How many of you have ever thought of starting a business or a side hustle? I'm sure most of you have already done it or planning to do it. See, whether you are launching a chai stall or building an application, you need a strategy to win. That's where the strategy has a difference from plan. So planning and strategy seems to be two similar things, but they are different in this way that strategy is, the main aim of strategy is to win. Now let's imagine you and your friend, you both are starting a lemonade stand and you both sell the same thing at the same location. But you decided to offer free delivery, keep loyalty cards, post funny Instagram reels. This is not just creativity, that's strategy. That's your game plan to stand out and succeed. Let's understand what exactly is business strategy. So when we talk about business strategy, it's the game plan a company uses to reach its goal, outsmart the competition and gain a long-term edge, which is the key for any company. If we talk in simple terms, it's a game plan that helps business to take smart choices and where to play and how to win. Two key aspects for any business. It's not just about making money, it's about solving real problem in smarter, more sustainable and more scalable ways. Think of it as a map. Without it, a business can drift. With it, even a small idea can become something big. It's how a business decides where to compete, which market to select, what products to offer, which customers to entertain. These are the criteria. How to compete. Whether you're competing on pricing, product quality, innovation, and what makes it different from others. How will you win? What's your unique edge? It's like a map that guides a business towards success and help it avoid getting lost. Majority of business today, you must be seeing many startups coming in, but many of them fade away because sometimes with not the right strategy, you're not able to focus on your goal. You're not able to utilize all the resources towards that goal and eventually you'll fade away. So we'll talk about these terms more in the coming up conversation of ours. But remember one thing, which is very important, that strategy win war, not just battle. That's what make it very powerful and necessary. Let's discuss some key elements of strategy. So often you will be thinking that how a business decide that what is a great strategy. Let's break it down in terms of a company. So every company will have a vision and goal where the business wants to go. They will have a market understanding, knowing the customer, trends and competitors. Also they will know their unique advantage like edge. They will know what business do better or differently from others. Also every business is specialized in resource allocation. How time, money and people are used effectively towards their goal. Last is the execution plan, turning ideas into real world action and results. Let me give an example. Imagine two coffee shops at the same street. Now, one is following one strategy of lowering price and focused on speed, whereas the other add a cozy seating, books, jazz music to attract student. Now both sell coffee, but they have different strategies to attract their customers. Let me give you what role business world uses strategy every day. See, strategy isn't just for CEOs. People in below rules also use this strategy every day. Like for example, marketing managers. They decide how to reach out customers better than their rivals. Product designers. They plan what feature matters the most. And this is very crucial. Sometimes you have too much to offer to people, but you need to decide which is the most key aspect which you will be offering, which will make you, which will give you an edge in the market. So you need to understand which features matter most. Consultants, very important role. They play a very big role in understanding the problem and solving business problems. Now, last but not the least, entrepreneurs. You know, entrepreneurs is a very common term, but these people figure out how to stand with limited resources. Any entrepreneur, when he is starting his business, he will be starting low. So he should know how to best utilize the limited resource which he has towards his goal. Even people from HR and operations use strategic thinking to manage people and improve processes. Let's go back to the term entrepreneur. I'm sure that you know it, you want to become, and I wish that you all should try for it. But let's understand who is an entrepreneur. So entrepreneur isn't just someone who has started a business. It's someone who sees a real world problem and solves it creatively, effectively and sustainably. Very important point to focus on. Let's see if you use business strategy, where it will take you in your career. I'll give you some examples. As a business strategic analyst, you can join Google, Facebook or any other company. You can become a consultant and provide your services to McKinsey, BSG or any other company in the market. You can become a product manager to a tech giant or a startup. Or you can become an entrepreneur building your own thing. See, all these roles involve thinking critically, planning smartly and solve problems creatively. Let's go back to some famous companies, how they have used the business strategy and succeeded. Google. We all know Google. And over 2 decades, Google search engine dominated how people found information online by typing keywords, clicking links, browsing websites. But then ChatGPT came. And I'm sure that you all know ChatGPT and AI. I don't need to tell you what does it do. So ChatGPT is not a search engine, but as a conversational assistant. You don't search, you ask, and you get the answers instantly. That is the strategic shift. OpenAI didn't compete Google by making a better search engine because they knew Google has already outsmarted the market and they are one of the best search engine available right now in the market and also one of the most utilized search engine. So what ChatGPT did differently? They used a different strategy. Let's understand this strategic insight of theirs. You know, once you cannot compete in a particular category, it is advised that you create a new category. So they did a category creation. So ChatGPT didn't enter the search market, it created a new behavior. Like just ask the AI. They have improved the user experience innovation. For example, removed friction like no ads, no blue links, just answers. Which is more important. Like once you go on the Google, you search something, it is not going to give you exact relevant answer, but it will give you definitely many links, many ads where you have to browse and understand what is wrong, what is right. Where the customer was not having previously options, so they were going with it. But once ChatGPT came in, they focused on question and what is the appropriate answer. Definitely there is a big data science behind it where they are doing a big data analytics, data science and providing the answers. I'm sure that you all know it and we are not going to discuss it any further in this particular course. Let's talk about another strategic insight from ChatGPT, which is which is value through interaction. See, ChatGPT learns from context, past prompts and follow conversation like a smart advisor, where you ask questions and it smartly advises you the right answer. Now here, OpenAI didn't just build another search engine. They used the strategy to change how people interact with information, from searching to chatting. And chatting is the most common behavior we are observing since last 10 years or in this decade. So it's not actually competing. What ChatGPT has done is they have innovated. Let's take another example of Apple. We all know Apple. Why Apple is famous? Because Apple is focusing on premium design plus simplicity that earns them brand loyalty. Another major example is Netflix. We all know Netflix. We all are using Netflix. But do you know Netflix was in DVD business? But when they saw the future was digital, they pivoted. That decision, that strategy changed everything. Zomato. They didn't just deliver food. They created local engagement. Strategy that made users stick around for reviews, ratings and rewards. McDonald's. You know, McDonald's sell burger, which is like a same burger which everybody is selling. But why? They mastered in speed and consistency worldwide. Apart from their from their burger business, they are one of the major key real estate player in the market as of now. They all had one thing in common. They saw what others didn't and acted on it, which is major part of strategy, which we will discuss eventually in this course going forward. But in every case, smart strategy was the secret sauce. Now, as you all are college students, you must be thinking that why students' ideas and problem solving skill matter. Let me give you a small example here. Today, all the big companies, they have started with small ideas, often by younger people, be it Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, or you take it LinkedIn or any platform which are huge today. They all have started with small ideas. They always started by younger people. Let me tell you why younger people, or why you matter, why you as a student matters in business strategy very much. Because you understand your generation better than anyone. You see the gap which others will miss, like apps, trends, habits. Your strategy thinking, seeing problem and crafting a clever solution, skill that you build in everyday's college life. Very important. Your creativity plus critical thinking is your biggest asset. Please focus on this one. See, there are teens in India running Instagram thrift stores, designing custom sneakers, or even launching tiffin services, cloud kitchen from home. What separates the one who goes viral from the one who fades away? You know the answer. That's strategy. The winner know their audience. They do things differently. They use data and feedback. And that's how the strategy start, right from where you are. See, remember one thing. At the end, anybody is looking for value. If somebody is investing a penny in your business or your idea, he want to see value. Now, value has different propositions. It can be in terms of financial, it can be in terms of satisfaction, it can be in terms of XYZ. You need to understand your customers, understand the need of the market, understand your competitors, and understand that how you can give a different value or a unique value to people, which will give you an edge in your business strategy. This is where the strategy plays. And that's where it is very different from planning. So planning eventually can become strategy, but every planning is not strategy. They are two different terms. We'll talk about it also. But let me give you a challenge. I want all of you to think that if you have 5,000 in your pocket and you want to launch a side hustle in your campus, what would you do? Please think about this one. We will come back to it at the end of this particular session. I want you to utilize the intermediate time to think about it, that what you will do with 5,000 money. Now, let me give you a very simple analogy that how does a life of business strategic role looks like every day. So as a consultant, you might start with a client call where he is asking you to launch a product in India. Then you will brainstorm this particular idea with your team. End of the day, you will be presenting the strategic roadmap to the stakeholders. If you are an entrepreneur, you will go from idea, test, feedback, scale. Every day is about solving problem. and learning fast. I want to add here, I want to give an example of myself. So how does a day people like me who are director or solution architect or a consultant looks like? In the morning, we start by reviewing performance data. We understand what was the market trend for last 1 week. During the midday, we will brainstorm these ideas with my team. How can we grow our business? And very important, where are we losing customers? This is the focus to make any strategic improvement. Because if you lose your customer, you don't have a business. Business is all around customer. So very important point to remember or discuss or think or analyze or keep in mind when you are making any strategy for any business. Normally in the afternoon, I create a plan, bring up my team, and I ask them that what changes should the business make. Also, one of the most important part I always ask my team is how can we test these changes? Because this is what planning and strategy means, where your strategic thinking should be the one which is practical, which should be tested. See, strategy or business strategy is a theoretical term. I agree on that particular part. But if we apply this strategy in our business, in our real life, definitely we want to test it out. So we should always focus on what changes should be done and how can we test it. There are different parameters to test it. Today we are very privileged. In the era of social media, in the era of innovations and internet, data, reachability, information is very easy. So it's very easy to find information, it's very easy to test information, it's very easy to measure it. End of the day, my role is to prepare a desk, to prepare slides, to prepare numbers, clear thinking, and present it to the deputy minister or minister, where they will approve the idea or they will provide us new directions. So this is what I do every day. But see, me, consultant, or an entrepreneur, all are doing same thing. It's a mix of problem solving, creativity, and teamwork. And remember, no 2 days are same for anyone. There will be different days, there will be different challenges, there will be different thinking process, and which is normal and which is the beauty of this particular job. Let's talk on very important aspect of business strategy, that what skills we as student or we as consultant or anyone should develop. I'll divide these skills into 5 major skills. Let's start with critical thinking. Now, critical thinking is the ability to analyze information objectively and make a reasonable judgment. It means not just accepting things on their face value, but digging deeper, asking why, how, and what if. Let's understand why critical thinking is important in business strategy. See, strategy requires smart decision, not just fast ones. You understood the difference between smart decisions and fast decisions. Fast decisions may help you for that particular instance, but not in longer run. And when we are talking about business, it's about longer run. Any critical thinker challenge assumptions, spot flows, connect the dots between data, market trend, and customer need. It helps leader to avoid costly mistakes and build competitive advantages. Key aspects of critical thinking is question everything. Why is this happening? Is there a better way? Analyze evidence. Look at the data, trend, feedback. Avoid bias. Stay objective. Don't jump to conclusion. Avoid ego. Very important for any business. Draw logical conclusions. Make reasoned judgment based upon what study you have done, what data you have gathered, and how focused you are. Think ahead. Very important for any business. Consider second order effect. What does it mean is like, what happened next? In case if this idea fails, what's your fallback idea? In case this strategy fails, how will you change it? How will you pivot? It's very important. Let me give you an example of problem solving or critical thinking. See, Netflix, as we have taken the example previously, let's focus on Netflix. See, Netflix decided to go digital. They didn't follow the crowd. The crowd was selling DVD players, CD players, disc antennas and all. But then they understood that moving forward, things are going to go digital. They analyzed where tech and user habits were going to be and acted on that insight. That's critical thinking and action. Next skill is problem solving. Problem solving is the ability to identify challenges, analyze them, and find effective solutions, especially when things are uncertain or messy. See, in business strategy, problem solving is the core of everything. It's what helps companies to survive, grow, and outsmart competition. Let's understand why problem solving matters the most in business strategy. See, any business faces new challenges daily. For example, falling sales or any tech disruptions. As a strategic thinker, you must break down every problem, evaluate options, and choose the smart path forward. See, great problem solver turns roadblocks into opportunities. That's the key role here. Let's understand the key steps involved in any problem solving. First of all, we have to define the problem. Be clear on what's wrong and why it matters. Very important that why it matters. See, any business will have hundreds of problems. You are not going to solve every problem every day. You have to understand that which problem is the one which is important for right now, which needs to be addressed. Based upon that, our sales will go up or down, or our market image or our trend image will go up and down. So you need to understand what's wrong and why it matters. The second key aspect of problem solving is analyze the root cause. Don't fix the symptoms, fix the source. Because if you fix the symptoms, it may repeat. It will actually exhaust you in a longer run. You have to find the source, fix it, so that this same problem will not reoccur. We call it RCA also, root cause analysis. The third key step is brainstorming the solution. Very important. Think broadly. Invite ideas from your team. The fourth one is evaluate options. What's feasible? What's impactful? Moreover, it should be aligned with the goal. Remember, every strategy, every business has a goal. You have to align your evaluation, your feasibility, your options towards that goal. You don't need to deviate. That's the beauty of it. And last one for problem solving is take action. Solve fast, learn faster, and adjust if needed. See, I'm not saying that every time business has a crisis, you pivot. No, absolutely not. You have given your time, your resource, your money, everything to that business. You have to stick to that business and try to make it work. But you have to understand what market is demanding, what people are feeling, what is their need. And sometimes if you feel, adjust, pivot. That's where we learn from these big giants like ChatGPT, Netflix, Kodak, Zomato, and all these players. They have pivoted at one particular instance of their time, and they have taken the right action to solve the major problem. Let me give another example of problem solving. Zomato we know every day, and I'm sure that you must be ordering your food from Zomato now and then. Now, Zomato knew that they have a problem, that there are delay issues happening to customers. So what they did is they built a real-time ordering tracking system, which eventually solved their issue. Same thing Amazon, one of the very famous websites which we are using throughout the world. Now Amazon wanted to reduce the cost of delivery. So what they did is they invested heavily on logistics and drones, which have helped them a lot on their delivery cost. Now see, each uses a strategic response to a real world problem. So everyone business strategy depends upon what business they are doing, what problems they are having, and how impactful this problem is, how important this problem is, and based upon that they are creating strategy. Let's move on to another important skill which we as student or we as technocrat or business person should develop in line with business strategy. It's called as communication. I'm sure that you all know communication. Communication is the ability to clearly share idea, listen actively, and connect with others, whether you are speaking, writing, or presenting. Great communication isn't just about talking, it's about making sure your message is understood and drives action. Let's understand why communication matters in business strategy. See, you might have a very good idea, but if you can't explain it, it won't go anywhere. Strategy needs buy-in from teams, leaders, and customers. You need to communicate data, decision, and vision clearly. Let's understand what are the key aspects of communication. Clarity. It's very important. This is what I have learned from my seniors, and this is what I'm trying to educate even to my son, my daughter, my family, that we have to be very clear when we speak. Clarity does not mean that use some heavy words, jargons and all. Keep it very simple so that everyone can understand. Make it jargon-free language. Use simple terms which people will understand. That will give you clarity. Active listening is another important aspect of communication. Understand others' ideas, feedback and concerns. Then comes persuasion. See, inspiring people to act or support your decision. That's your persuasion capability. When we talk about communication, to make communication interesting, to have a capability like storytelling, make your message very memorable through real examples. Also, you have to be adaptable. You need to understand when to speak to CEO, how you'll communicate. Also, it will be very different from when you are speaking to your friend, colleague, or teammate. So you need to understand where the communication has to be adaptable. Let me give an example here for communication. Think about this. You're pitching a business idea to an investor. Use your case story very clearly. For example, here's the problem, here's why it matters most, here's how we'll solve it, and at the last, here's what we need from you. That's powerful communication. Let's move on to another skill, teamwork. Teamwork is the ability to work effectively with others towards a common goal. See, working with your friends, working with your teammates or colleagues is important. Why it is important? Because at the end we all are working towards a common goal, which can be the goal for your business, which can be goal for your own venture, anything. Now how does it happen? By collaborating, sharing ideas and supporting each other. See, teamwork is not just about getting along. It's about combining diverse skill, perspectives and strength to achieve better results together. Why teamwork matters in business strategy? See, no one can build a winning strategy alone. It takes input from marketing, finance, operations, and many more. Diverse team makes smarter and more creative decisions. Strategy need alignment, and alignment requires teamwork. Let's understand the key aspects of teamwork. Collaboration, where you're building ideas together instead of working in silos. Respect, valuing everyone's input even when you disagree. That's where your maturity and common sense will come in. Reliability, doing your part and trusting others will do theirs. Very important in any teamwork is conflict resolution, handling disagreement in a healthy and productive way. Last but not the least, shared goals, putting the team success above individual credit. Let me give you an example for teamwork. Think about that. You're part of a campus project for launching a mock startup. Now one person is great at numbers, another creative with branding, and you are good at organizing. When each person plays to their strength and support others, that's teamwork in action. We'll move on to the last skill which I can think of is creativity. Now creativity is very important in business. Why? Because creativity is the ability to think in new, original or imaginative way. To connect ideas, solve problems and create value where others don't see it. You remember the term value which we have talked about before? That's the main ingredients or outcome from a business. what's the value people are getting, which others don't have it. So it's not just for artists or designer, because many times we say creativity, this particular term is mostly for artists, designers, or actors, or those kind of fields. No, in business strategy, creativity is the fuel for innovation. It helps break the status quo and opens up new path for growth. Let's understand why creativity matters in business strategy. It helps business stand out in crowded market. It leads innovative products, services, or experiences. It allows teams to adapt quickly when things doesn't go as planned, and this will happen many of times. When things will not go as planned, that's where your creativity, your teamwork, your communication, your problem solving, your critical thinking will come in. Let's understand the key aspects of creativity. First aspect is thinking differently. You have to challenge everything. How it's always been done. Challenge this particular thing. But once you challenge, you should always have a reasonable answer or reasonable thinking. Connecting the dots. Seeing patterns which others miss. Very important for a creative person. And that's where the new things will, or innovative things will come in picture. Then experimenting, trying new ideas, even if they may fail. But you have to try, because until you try, you'll not know. But yes, as I said previously, trying should not be blind. Trying should be with feedbacks, with study of the market, with understanding about you and your team capability, with understanding about your funds, understanding about your outcome from the market. Those all things needs to be put in perspective. Another key aspect of creativity is visualizing the future, and it is one of the most important aspects. Imagining what doesn't yet exist. Think about, nobody has thought about GPT, AI previously because it did not exist. So those companies or those business strategists have thought this vision that in the future world, as people are already into chatting, they would like to chat and get ideas or get answers or get things done quickly. Netflix, Zomato, and all these people, they have visualized the future. They have understood the customer demand in advance and acted on it. Now, another key aspect is simplifying the complexity, and this is also one of the key aspects for creative people. When you are simplifying the complexity, finding smart, elegant solutions to messy problems. Let me give you an example of creativity. I think you all know Airbnb. Now Airbnb, they turned extra rooms into hotel alternatives. Who thought about it? That's a very creative solution. Another example can be Ola and Uber. Ola and Uber turned one of the most pain point of finding a cab into tap on your phone experience. That spark is creativity, my friends. As a student, I feel that your next move should be, you should join some strategy or entrepreneurship clubs. You should watch case studies. You should read case studies. Very important, brothers. Pick one problem this week and sketch a solution. Because if you have a problem and if you can sketch a solution on the paper, then the problem will be solved very effectively, very easily, and in a very rational way. Because as I think I've learned from my parents that if you can write something, you can solve it. But if you cannot write things, that means that that is not a problem, it's just your imagination. And you are just thinking about it, not thinking practically. So write everything, sketch everything, make it a plan, make it on paper, and think all the and else situations. Read one business case study from Harvard or any company blogs. There are too many. You don't need to go to only Harvard. You can read anything from anywhere. Even go to any chaiwala or any lemonade stand. You will understand that what business strategy he is following. And sometimes simple things are the most effective things. Don't go into complex things. Go simple. Try to understand what simple things he is doing, which is making it stand out in the crowd, and you will see a major difference. See, strategy starts with curiosity. The moment you started asking questions to yourself, not to other people only, to yourself, you will become a strategist. Now let's make it more real. Imagine you want to open a food truck in north campus of your or in any part of the Delhi. What you will do? See, to me, if I'll be the one, I'll be asking that, what's my twist? Who's my audience? And how can I attract them? And how can I make sure that they should come back to me? Because any business cannot succeed if we do not have repetitive customers. So repetitive customer is the key. And to ensure repetitive customers, feedback, appreciation, loyalty programs, these are the key aspects which many of the organizations are using as of now today. That's why you see people writing anything on Twitter, companies are very much bothered because everybody knows any bad comment coming from a influenced person can ruin the business or ruin the business image. So very important aspect which we need to think of in case if you want to understand or if you want to create a new business. Okay, let's go back to our challenge which I have given you initially, which was like, if you had $5,000 in your pocket, what side hustle you will be launching in campus, or what would you do? I'm sure you already have an answer to these questions. Give me a moment. I think I have got a chat. So yeah, going back to a question. I'm sure that you already have thought about it, you already have answers to it, and your answers are very good also. What I would recommend is, go back, put your thoughts on paper as we talked previously, make a business strategy and think, what if it fails? What you will do next? How you'll mitigate your problems? How you'll understand or capture the feedback? If you have answers to these questions, my friends, you are already there. You are halfway done for your business planning. With this, I'll be sharing my final thoughts about this lecture. See, strategy isn't just for boardrooms, CEOs, chairmen, directors. Actually, strategy starts in dorm rooms, cafes, conversation like this. You don't need to have it all figured out today. But if you stay curious, think deeply, and learn how to solve problem, you are already on the path. The most successful strategists aren't one with all the answers in hand. They are the one who are asking better questions. Let me give you one quote which I follow or I like or I really advise my friends to follow. It's vision without strategy remains an illusion. And I truly believe with the right strategy, your vision can change the world. It was a pleasure interacting with all of you. Let's keep building, dreaming and strategizing because the future belongs to those who plan it well. I'm done with my day to day. I will invite all of you to ask me any questions or anything which is not clear. I'll be more than happy to try and answer to you. If I don't have an answer, I'll try and come back on those questions. I'll evaluate, understand them. So feel free to ask me any questions. Thank you. You have been a very good audience. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. That was certainly insightful session. To the audience, you can ask for your turn by raising your hand to ask the question.
Yes, please, Naman.
I would request the moderator to please allow Naman Gupta to speak up.
Yes, sir. Sir, if we start a business or a startup, what are the main problems that are we gonna face, or main mistakes we are gonna make?
It's a very good question. See, Naman, startup is not new thing, but yes, it got the popularity in recent time, especially from COVID time, where you have seen many people starting new businesses. But here, the key aspect is, don't go by emotions Go practically. When you are starting a business or planning for a new business, you need to understand that what business you are in, is it too much crowded, which location you are going to choose, what kind of people you have. Remember, in my session I have given you an example of two coffee shops, and one is focusing on lowering the price, making it very fast, whereas the other one focused on giving comfortable seats, putting jazz music, offering books to read. So these are different strategy. You need to understand where you are doing business, with whom you are interacting, gather feedback about those areas, understand your team, your capability, also your sustainability. Very important part. Majority of startup fails because many people are starting a business just because somebody succeeded in that particular business. That's not the key. If he has succeeded, he is doing something new, something very attractive, and if you will try to replicate it, you may or may not get success. Your success lies in understanding part. You need to understand how differently he is doing, then evaluate yourself that can you do it, do you have the right resources, if not, procure the right resources. One thing also which I would like to say to all of the students is, see, many people says that we should do things which we like. No, not very important. Like what you do, life will be very easy. I hope I answered your question. Let's move on to the next one.
Yes. Next we'll have you share or
Hi Piyush.
you can go ahead with your question.
So it is really a big opportunity to have you here with us. Question that is how. Sorry.
I'm sorry Piyush, I'm not able to get you.
Strategy and how we can prepare for them as students.
Okay, Piyush, I understood you.
So my question is the career path for them as a student.
Yeah, please come again. Or the moderator, if you got the question, if you can brief me.
Yes, sir. So what he's asking is like, what options does he have as a career option in business strategy? For example, should he pursue that would help him expert completely and how he can utilize this further in his career?
Absolutely, absolutely. Very good question. See, as in career path, as a business strategist or somebody who understand the business, who understand the problem, uh, opportunities are immense in market. You need to have the right mindset. Now to develop this mindset, I have given some examples of the skills which matters the most in business strategies, like critical thinking, problem solving, communications, teamwork, creativity. Focus on these skills. Try and develop these skills. Make it very simple. Analyze the market. Analyze the new businesses around you. Check them out. What people are doing, how they're doing, what differently they are doing. At Shriram's college, I believe this is one of the finest college for commerce background people, and you as commerce background people will be future CAs, future accountants, future people who will be suggesting on financial things to the companies. You have a very bright future. Only thing is like you need to sharpen yourself. You need to develop new skills, or you have to grab new skills. You have to be open. Otherwise, you can become a strategist at any company. You can become product managers, you can become program managers, you can become project managers, you can become part of any team, or you can open your own startups. Be an entrepreneur. I hope I have answered your question.
So next we have Bhavishya. You can go ahead with your question.
Hello, sir. Am I audible?
Yeah, I can hear you, Bhavishya.
Yes, sir. My question was that how can we attract customers to our business? Like in every startup, there are something that every startup is new, so there must be an idea through which customers may attract. So, what are the ways we can attract customers and to review our products and buy them?
It's a very good question. See here, I'll say that 20 years before it was very difficult. But right now, in the age of social media, in the age of technology, this is the most easiest part, also the trickiest part. Easiest and trickiest. You have to gather feedback from people. You have to understand, I'm repeating myself, but yes, you have to understand what market are you looking for out, what kind of customers you are going to entertain, and what products are complete or in the market right now, what they are offering, and how you can make it a difference. If you have this data in your hand, if you analyze this data, if you understand that what is your competitive edge against other people, how you will be offering the same product which is available in the market, and what kind of problems people are facing with the current available options in the market, if you can address to these things, then you will have a good chance to come in the market, to compete with these people, and eventually, if you follow the right approaches, you will succeed more. But see, it's a crowded market. Now it's not like that anything is you are going to introduce new. Most of the things are already done. What we need to focus is we need to find out a competitive edge against your competitors or your rivals. That's where the key is. And to find out an answer for that one is feedback. You need to get feedback from people. Before launching the product, you have to understand what's the feedback about the product already in the market. Once you launch the product, or in the process of launching the product, you have to market it well. You have to address it to the right people. For example, if I go and try to market my iPhone in a village, it will be of no use. But if I try to market iPhone in the right city, in the right tier of people, I'll get a good sales. So you need to understand where to market, what to market, and which audience is your audience. I hope I answered your question.
Alright, so we are very sorry, but since we are running short on time, we'll have to wrap this session up now. Thank you once again, Mr. Yadav, for this truly enriching session. Your insights have given all of us a lot to reflect on and aspire towards. To our participants, thank you for your enthusiastic engagement and thoughtful questions. This is just the beginning of a series of powerful conversations we have lined up for you under the Shri Finance Bootcamp. Our next session for the day will begin promptly at 5 p.m., where we'll shift gears and dive into the world of financial planning and investment strategies with yet another distinguished speaker. Thank you, sir.
And best you in your future endeavors.